Hello, everybody. It's me, Tonic TZW. This is Kraken number 89, well titled as Cherry Popped. I certainly didn't think it was going to happen in the first week of the campaign because it takes a little bit of time to get used to new ships. And having dropped all of my credits and used all of my global XP to boost the Sumner and the Z46 to full upgrades, I've been trying to learn a little bit about how they play in comparison to other ships. And this is quite a nice step between the Fletcher and the legendary Gearing. Torpedo reloads a little long. The range is very long, but the guns are nicely punchy and quite rapid, and those are going to come in very handy as we move in to ACAP. Now, I certainly wasn't expecting a Kraken. As I say, I'm playing and I'm learning as I go with a new ship. I think I'm a fairly decent destroyer commander, but with a new ship, there are always new things to learn. And there's obviously more than one new ship in the game this week, and we're going to bump into one of them momentarily. Now I'm pinging the map. We can see that red team has moved straight onto the cap, and I have no doubt at all that that is a destroyer, and he gets himself spotted. It's a Z46, and the Z46 has got himself is it a 5k sonar? But we're going to get guns on. We were ready for that. We were already slowing down and getting ready to back out, but we are still spotted, and that means there's another ship, and it's a Summers. Now he's got 3 salvos of torpedoes. He's also got reasonably decent guns, but we are going to put our guns to best effect, and we're going to take the first kill of the game as he drops his smokescreen. Now we see the icon that we are detected, which means that the Z46 has got his sonar on, and I'm actually going to play with him with his sonar. I'm going to gun my engines and I'm going to pull out, expecting him to fire his torpedoes. But no sooner do I get moving and we get the torpedoes spotted that I hit the brakes. Now I know that even though the Z46 is quite a flexible destroyer, that I've probably got him beat on reload and the potential for damage with HE, and I am not going to let this cap go to red team for too long. And we pull out, and we are going to trade blows. As I said, it's quite a versatile ship, the Z46. He's got me spotted, but thankfully the positioning of red team means that they're unable to support him. So we get rid of him as well. And the first 3 ships out of the game on red team are all the destroyers. And I got 2 of them, so I'm going boom, 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 little bit of a fanfare for myself. So I want to move around a bit, and then I want to get back on this cap. Now, the cruiser that spawned with us has gone all the way behind the island on the left-hand side, and the battleship seems reluctant to turn into the cap, even though he is broadside on to the Yamato that is behind B cap. So I'm just wondering how long he's going to last. But we do have some special kind of potatoes there, and we'll point that out a little bit later as we get through this game. So I'm asking for support. I want these guys to come in and help turn the cap quickly for me, but they're going to do their own thing. Now we put Torps out towards the GK, but I think he is just going to start kiting towards the back of the map, which is surprising for a big legendary ship like that, because I'm sure the cruiser that's there, he could probably take out in a wanna. Now, pushing forward, I decide that if Mr. Yamato is going to push across this way, that I want to be on the cap in smoke, because I know that he can be seen by other ships at the moment, so I'm going to use my smoke to best effect as I can. We pop the smoke screen and we start drilling out that HE, because we want some fires. but he is pretty much at max range. So we turn our attention to the Minotaur, who has just obviously spotted my smoke screen and realised that he's heading in the direction of a destroyer and doesn't want to be any part of it. And so here we go, two legendary ships that are in an absolute panic, and shortly will have their hair on fire and will be turning round and running in the opposite direction. Now if you look at the remainder of blue team, even though red team have absolutely no destroyers whatsoever, they aren't pushing. They aren't pushing B cap, they aren't pushing C cap. They're all kind of sat back in an extended line, and well, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. But the cruiser and the battleship off my left side are chasing the Yamato, and they are chasing the GK. And I guess we could say it could be a good thing to push a flank and try and encircle the red team, but it's certainly not going to work out that way, and I am going to end up in, as I call it, a little bit of a pickle later in the game. But we have 2 kills. Those torpedoes are still running towards the Yamato. In fact, we could run those at double speed and they still won't get there for like another 2 minutes or something, because they aren't the fastest in the world. But Mr. Yamato is going out of range, so we decide now that we are going to push B cap, because well, one blue team ship has decided to push in, and if I wasn't using my smoke screen there, I probably would have pushed into B cap earlier and tried to give us a little more of an advantage. But the Minotaur turns away, and in doing so, he picks up a torpedo for kill number 3. So there's still 4 ships in the game. At this point, I'm not thinking about anything but capture points and trying to spot where the red team are. Now I do see that Minotaur, and we'll come back to him in the results screen, because he deserves a GG and a big round of applause. Red team are sat out on the flanks of C cap. And although I'm watching what this guy is doing and getting ready to put some torps out, I think he's hit a smoke screen behind there. And meanwhile, our cruiser and our battleship are still chasing the JK, but that Minotaur is going to pick them up while they sail completely broadside to him, and he is going to rain hellfire down upon them. Not HE hellfire, but AP hellfire with, what is it, a 2.5 second reload, and he is going to completely decimate them. We've got the Soyuz out there, who appears to have been parked against the island or stuck against that island, I don't know which, for the, probably the last 6 or 7 minutes. So obviously a favourite spot to bow tank and snipe from out there. And I'm thinking of pushing out through the centre of B towards C, but looking at my detection radius, I think that might put me just on the border, potentially where I don't want to be. My whole aim here is to stay undetected. I don't want red team to know where I am, because I want to push the capture points. So I swing a right out of B cap. I see that he is pulling forward, but I don't think he's going to pull. I think he's just playing with his throttle to try and get an angle on this Iowa. So I'm going to sail out and sail round and just give myself some safe space, because that minnow dropped into a smoke and I don't know exactly where he went to either. So I'm going to play cautiously. As I said, still learning, getting a feel for the ship, and so better to play cautious and stay alive than it is to play hard and fast like I sometimes do and die too quickly. Now he is low health, I've got torpedoes loaded, and I'm thinking, well, yep, this could be kill number 4. There's a Richelieu out there. Our Yamato and the Richelieu are obviously just standing, shooting at each other's faces. This guy pulls out. Now, as he's just pulled out, he's going to be picking up speed. So I lead him with some torpedoes. But our Iowa, who has been sat all the way back there for absolutely ages, puts a salvo out and gets himself a kill. So I'm looking around. I see where the Minotaur is. He's playing the kiting game. As you can see, there are both those ships that were out on the left flank have died. The GK has now turned back in. The Minotaur is still playing a kiting game. The Yamato on our right, our Yamato, is, as I said, shooting their Richelieu in the face. But I am back on the cap, and this is going to give us the points advantage. That's what the aim of domination is. You control the capture points, and you can afford to lose a couple of ships. It is 5 plays 3, but it is not going to stay that way for long. And although you see my mic popping up on the bottom left hand corner of the screen, I don't think anybody was listening in, because I was saying to that Yami, this isn't going to end well for either of you. Just go full chat and ram him and get him off the map. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Richelieu takes out the Yamato. I've got the cap turned, and I have no doubt now that that Richelieu wants to come into that corner and slap this Iowa on the backside. So I can't see him. I don't know where he is. I'm going purely on instinct and time here. He does appear. I get some shots over before he comes around the corner. He's turning into it. I pop my smoke, and I'm thinking if I can get a fire on this guy, he is going to burn. He's turned tight into the corner, intending on running down my smoke. At any second, I'm expecting this Iowa to pick up another kill from me, but we get lucky and we get a torpedo on his nose before the Iowa gets his volley in. But sitting in my smoke, I've lost sight of things, so we have the cap. I am now going to push out and see what I can see. The GK is unsighted, but we know that he is pushing in with the Minotaur. So I'm using my torpedo indicator to have a look and see what this Minotaur is doing. He's very obviously twisting and turning, but we aren't going to be scared of him. But he is going to absolutely chin this Iowa down. Now, normally I would stick super close to a battleship in this situation, but it has gone from 5 ships to 3 to 3 ships to 2, and this Minotaur is on an absolute rampage. But I'm unspotted because I've just got enough of my ship past that island that he can't see me. So I'm going to try and use my guns to get a fire on him, because he can't have much left on him. The Iowa is still getting chipped away at. The GK is almost on B cap. I do get myself spotted, and the Minotaur turns his attention to me, having dispatched the Iowa. I do get badly chucked, but he is still spotted, which gives me the opportunity, because I do have a rear turret there, and even if it's one turret, I can get some fire on him. And there we go. We pick up the Minotaur for Kraken number 89. And just at that moment, you'll notice that I became the last ship on the team. Now there is a GK out there. He has got a lot of hit points on him, but I am not greedy. We have 2 caps. We have a huge advantage on points, and there are barely 30 seconds left on the clock. I am not going to chase a battleship for a kill for the sake of going, woohoo, look at me. It is enough to have the Kraken, it's enough to have the win. I am absolutely overjoyed that I have popped that cherry. I do have a playlist on the YouTube channel, and I think it's just called the Kraken Collection, and there's not every Kraken is on there because I didn't know how to do that before, but there are quite a few. We finish on 98,000 with the 5 kills, 264 gun hits, 2 caps, 4 resets, some floods, a few torp hits, 1 assist. We get the first blood, and if you look at the results now, we got 33.44 on the base XP, which isn't a record, but the Minotaur, as I said, had a monster of a game with Kraken, Confederate, High Caliber, and a Dev Strike. So, Prince Arctic 7, I have messaged you on Xbox Messenger. Congratulations on your Kraken as well, and well done. So don't forget, before you go, please do hit the like button, drop me a comment, and if you haven't done already, click that subscribe button and I'll keep the content coming. Thank you all. Take care. Goodbye.